Welcome to the fourth tutorial of this series. In this session we will learn about calculations and how we could use criteria to do some calculations. So let's get started. The database we are using is clinical systems. Select from the table we are going to use is called table coding, and the field we need are operation cost, comma, operation CCG funding, and finally operation commissioners funding. So when we execute this is our result set. So if we need to find out the difference between two fields, we are going to perform a calculation. Let's say our operation cost, and we are subtracting this with operation CCG funding, and we give a name as alias difference. If we run this, so it's calculation between operation cost and operation CCG funding. So this is a very straightforward calculation we could perform on two fields, and we could give this an alias. Let's perform a slightly complex calculation. So for example, if we want some percentage to calculate, we could do with like this: operation cost multiply by, let's say, 25% and divided by 100, and we'll say as 25%. So we run this, so it has calculated 25% of operation cost. You could put anything in, like different percentage if you want to. You could divide, you could multiply, take away, you could do any kind of calculations. We could perform, for example, another one. If we want to add these 25% to the actual cost, we could do that by actual cost plus the field we recently calculated 25% of operation cost. Copy and paste there. Control C, Control V. So when we perform this calculation, it will do this sum between the bracket first, and it will add the total to operation cost, and we could say as total. So when we run this, what it's doing is it's calculating 25% of operation cost and then adding to its actual value, which is 3750 is 25%, and the cost of the operation was 15,000. 15,000 plus 3750 is 18,750, and so on. This is how we could calculate percentages or different kind of calculations. Let's perform calculation on date. If for that purpose, let's change our table. Delete this. We are selecting, because we don't have any date field in this table, so we are going to use table. Let's use table operation, and the fields we are going to use are let's choose operation name and operation date. And the third one, we got another date field. It's called referral date. We could give them aliases as op date, as sorry, that's name op date, and as ref date. Let's run our query and see the results. We got operation name, operation date, and referral date. Now we're doing our calculation on dates. So we are going to use a function called dateDiff function. So we need to tell what are we trying to find out. Are we trying to find out the difference in days, months, or years? If, for example, we want to find out number of days, we could put double D and then a referral date, and the second field is operation date as wait time. So if we execute this, it will display us the difference between these two dates. If we need to find out any particular patient, how many days he had to wait or she has to wait for the procedure since they were referred for that operation. So we could put here, if we could also change this to calculate months if we want to. And how we could do that is just copy and paste, and we could change DD to MM. And if we run this now, it will show us how many months since they were referred before the operation was performed. So this is how we could do calculation on dates. Let's move to our final section where we could use a criteria to do some calculations. To perform calculation using criteria, we need to delete these fields and adding two new fields: operation actual score as actual and operation predicted score as predicted. Now we use our where clause to perform this calculation minus operation actual score equal to, let's say, 3. So when we run this, it is displaying us those records where operation predicted score is 3 points bigger than actual score. So this is how we could perform calculations using where criteria. Please post your comments and feedback. There are more videos available to watch and learn from, so please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next